Now around these parts there's a saying in that the hills are alive with the sound of music. We are in Germany, just bordering Austria, and it's absolutely beautiful up here in the mountains. But today the hills are alive with the sound of the new Peugeot 308. This is the updated facelifted model of Peugeot's C-segment offering. Our test car, finished in this rather attractive shade of blue, is a GT model. Visual updates include reworked front fascia, tweaks to the rear bumper, and offsetting these subtle changes are the larger alloy wheels of our GT line car. The 308 wears a sophisticated look that's not too shouty and rather grown up. It all reflects the more premium push that Peugeot are going for. Whilst this facelifted car doesn't receive the full iCockpit treatment like the 3008, that'll likely have to wait for an all-new 308. It's not to say that the interior is a bad place at all. In terms of design, it's certainly interesting with various sweeping shapes, brushed aluminium detailings, and the dials that sit characteristically above the steering wheel. A new 9.7-inch touchscreen display compatible with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto removes a lot of the buttons that would clutter the console otherwise. It's very much a minimalist space. Our GT example comes with a pair of these sports seats and plenty of red stitching. Said seats are massaging and heated. They definitely strike a good balance between being comfortable, supportive, yet with that slightly sporty edge which the GT models aim for. All versions of the new Peugeot 308, bar the entry level, receive a full-length glass panoramic roof. It allows plenty of natural light into the cabin and generally promotes an airy feel. Rear occupants have good amounts of legroom, though the middle passenger does have to deal with a transmission hump, and headroom is somewhat compromised by the glass panoramic roof. A small rear windscreen means that visibility is not the best, and so we'd strongly advise the rear reversing camera. Boot space is a practical 470 litres. New tech includes active city braking, lane departure warning, sign recognition and adaptive cruise control. One of the biggest changes to this 308 is to be found under the bonnet in the form of a 2-litre turbocharged diesel engine. It churns out 181 brake horsepower and 400 Newton meters of torque. This 4-cylinder is certainly a strong unit, and once the turbo spools up, the torque is what totally defines the experience here. It's this characteristic that makes it the ideal motorway cruiser. Under load it emits that traditional diesel gargle, but once underway it's hushed and there's not very much in the way of road or wind noise entering the cabin, so refinement levels are pretty good. Sending power to the front wheels is an all-new 8-speed automatic transmission, and it's pretty smooth when left to its own devices. It blurs the changes into the general forward momentum of the car quite well, and having 8 ratios now means that there's less of a step between each gear. When selected via these manual paddles, gear changes can be momentarily hesitant, but generally speaking, it's okay, bearing in mind the calibre of this car. Down here you'll find a switch for 3 selectable drive modes: Eco, Normal and Sport. Obviously Eco, you're going to be aiming for the best fuel economy, but Sport does several changes to the car. You'll find an increase of weighting to the steering, a new torque mapping is engaged, and also the dampers stiffen. Whilst I wouldn't say the 308 is a match for some competitors in terms of driving engagement, the whole platform is extremely stable with plenty of grip and precise steering when this weighting is added. It's a platform that promotes confidence, and on these twisty, windy roads that's exactly what you need when there's a drop of a couple of hundred foot on the other side. There isn't much in the way of feedback through the steering, but the small size of the steering wheel does promote agility in this car. Flick things back to normal, tackle the urban sprawl, and you'll find the 308 to be a really nice companion to spend time with. Now this is the part of the review where I'd usually talk about MPG and CO2, but sadly this is such an early drive of the Peugeot 308, it's still going through homologation, and so we don't have those figures at this time. But what I can tell you is that the new Peugeot 308 range is actually cheaper than it was before, to about the tune of £650 to £1,000 dependent upon what grade of car you go for. The range kicks off from £18,570 and goes on sale this September. Thanks very much for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments below. Please subscribe for all of the latest and greatest cars to hit the road. For breaking news and written reviews, visit www.insidelane.co.uk.